Xiao's getting another rerun, so let's go through 5 C0 teams for him, starting with what is arguably his strongest one. With the addition of Farazan, we finally have the Xiao support we wanted for 2 years. Downside is she has energy issues and needs constellations to get around them. Given the fact she's a newer character, not everyone has her, especially not with constellations. If you don't have her, you could run what used to be his strongest team. Having Jean instead of Farazan gives you less damage but a lot more comfort, and Jean also functions as a battery. Stick 4-piece Noblesse and a Favonius sword on her and you're good to go. You don't always need a healer depending how much HP you built on Zhongli for his shield, but in situations like the one on screen where there's bleed, she helps a lot. I don't have it, but a C4 also reduces the enemy's animo resistance, which will make this team even better. If you want a mix of both teams, you could run Hypercarry Xiao, where you're running with Farazan, Bennett and Zhongli. I don't like that team, but a lot of other players do. The first 2 teams I just shown are reliant on 5-star characters or constellations on a newer 4-star, so they might not be achievable for everybody. This one on the other hand is. Honestly, if you take Sucrose, Xiangling and Bennett and pair them with anyone, it's going to be a strong team. But Xiao in particular is a solid choice. All 3 of Sucrose, Xiangling and Xiao are good at AoE, but as you're seeing on screen, the team also works in single target. If you stick a Thrilling Tales on Sucrose, you can boost either Xiangling or Xiao's damage a lot depending on who you switch into afterwards, which gives the team a little bit of flexibility to approach different situations. Sucrose, like Jean, also works well as a battery for Xiao. For Xiangling, I advise using the catch with a 4-piece emblem and at least 200 energy recharge, and that way you don't need to use Bennett's skill to funnel particles into her often. I find that can be boring, and when I play a Xiao team, I want Xiao on field and no one else. If you're enjoying this video, I've got a video out next week showing 8 Al-Haytham teams and another with Yao Yao teams. So if you plan to pull either of them, or you're choosing Yao Yao in the Lantern Rite event, subscribe so you can have fun with him day one. This next team isn't one you turn to if you're struggling to 9-star floor 12, but it's definitely one you could try if you're already 9-star in it, and you just want something different to your usual teams. The logic is simple: set up with Bennett and your flex, then switch into Xiao and do DPS shit. Once his burst is over, you set up with Bennett and your flex again, then switch into Raiden and do DPS shit with her. You're just going into yo-yo mode and jumping between the two. I'm not big on teams that use 2 on-field DPSs, so it was a different experience for me, but a lot of players use this team. The fact that you can use the 4th slot as a flex gives the team some versatility that the others don't have as well. If you want damage, you can use Xiangling. If you want comfort, you can use Zhongli. If you want crowd control, you could go for an animo unit, or you could get creative and challenge yourself to use characters that you like that wouldn't often be used here. Now these next 2 teams are my favourite and I can't recommend them enough. Xiao's entire kit revolves around plunging, but his animations in his burst mode look so good that it's a shame not to use his normals. I've told people about using Xiao as a driver in teams without using plunging and they turn their nose up at it, but you can't deny these results. This is with a 2-piece Shiminawa and a 2-piece Viridescent Venera, but there are better options, like the 4-piece Desert Pavilion set which released with Scaramouche, or the 4-piece Vermilion Hereafter set which released with the Chasm. You could even run 4-piece Viridescent Venera if you have a good set. The fact you can be flexible with his artifacts is nice, but you also have the same flexibility with who you choose to play him with. You can use Beidou in AoE situations, Lisa in single target, Yai Miko for Eva, Yolan for extra hydro, or Cookie for comfort. Look at that, 41-second clip, that's ridiculous, stop sleeping on it. And there's another non-plunging team, this time it's National. Imagine watching a team comp video and not seeing some variation in National, it'd be diabolical. Hoyo versus Send Me to Jail. I'm not going to talk about this one, you already know how National teams go. Instead I'll just give my Xiao summary. I give Xiao a 7 out of 10. He's effective at AoE, single target, and he gives you 2 different ways to play with plunging and not plunging. The downside is he's replaceable in almost all of these teams. For the non-plunging teams you can use Hazo, Sucrose or Wanderer. And for the plunging teams, you could use Wanderer, Ito or Noelle. If you like him as a character, I say go for him, and if you don't, then he's a comfortable skip. Leave a comment telling me who you like to run him with. And a reminder, I'm dropping a video with 8 Al-Haytham teams next week, and another video with some Yao Yao teams. Subscribe if you want to see them, so you can have fun with him day one, and take it easy.